coming down at your name.
KPRT and K291CN Kansas City. Gospel 1590, 106.1 FM.
It's 9 o'clock a.m. Welcome to the Morning Glory Show. Turn your volume up and let the word of God pierce your soul. 1590 a.m. on your radio dial and 106.1 on your FM pal.
Thank you for tuning in to the Morning Glory radio broadcast with Drs. Adam and Adrian Blackstock of Glory Bible Fellowship International Church. Sit back and get ready to receive a word that will transform your life.
Good morning, radio family. It's great to be back here on the radio once again. Of course, you're listening to the Morning Glory radio broadcast, which is the radio ministry of Glory Bible Fellowship International Church, located at 1126 Northeast Delta School Road in Lee Summit, Missouri, where you can worship with us on Sundays at 10:30. You can watch us on at youtube.com/GBFIC, at live.gbfic.org, at facebook.com/GBFIC, or you can just watch us on our brand new redone GBFIC app. It is a beautiful. You can have it, get it in the App Store, at a Google Play Store, or the iOS Apple App Store, free of charge, and it is an incredible app for you to use, easy to use, and greatly to navigate through. We'd love for you to get the app because it really makes your experience with us more warm and welcoming, and you can completely navigate and understand us. You can also worship with us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. It's our interactive Bible study. You can watch it now still live on the internet as we transition back into the sanctuary very soon. We'll keep you guys posted. But you can always watch us there as well. The last and final, of course, we have the Prophet's Corner every Tuesday going forward for a while. We have Pastor Holland will be Prophetess's special guest this week, and that is a cry aloud meeting. It's an incredible time. They really talk to what the heart of the God is saying through the prophetic gift, and we want you to be with us tonight. And again, you can watch it on all those same ways: church app, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, pretty much, or web, live.gbfic.org. Any way you can get us, you can watch us tonight. And it's a great time in the Lord, and you really learn a lot of what the Lord is saying about present time and present time truth. And we have this great opportunity. Before I even move on, next Wednesday is Shavuot. That is the Feast of Weeks. And I'll be doing a special actually, it starts on Thursday, but I'll do a special teaching about it on Wednesday in Bible study. So on the 27th, be there watching us through the interweb of different opportunities for you to watch us and interact with us. And I'd love for you to watch us then as I continue the teaching about the Feast of the Lord, not the Feast of the Jews, but the Feast of the Lord. Okay, so last week we ended off, we were stirring the pot of end-time revelation with my good friend, Dr. Derek Brown, and I want you to stay with us for this next half-an-hour program as we continue to crack open end-time truths that are present-day realities and that God is going to minister to you so that you're not surprised when you start seeing the signs or you start seeing the revelations that the revelation that you need to have in reference to be able to combat the demonic entities that's trying to stop your breakthrough. Dr. Brown, I know he's on the line with us, and he will be sharing from you. But we picked up, we were in the 7 churches of Asia Minor, and we were in Revelation chapter 17. But what we want you to know is that God is in the healing business, and He doesn't want you to be surprised what the end time looks like. And so I wanted to have Dr. Brown come back and finish up where we were from last week, because it was so powerful, and we kind of tried to truncate it into 26 minutes, and we knew it wasn't possible. So, Dr. Brown, why don't you just pick up where you were, and so that we can make sure that the people understand where God is taking them in this season.
Thank you, Bishop Blackstock. And good morning out there, everyone in Radio Land. Glad to be with you today. Last week we left off at the 7 churches in the book of Revelation. We can witness all 7 of them in the first chapter that's found in the book of Revelations. That first church is Ephesus. And in these particular 7 churches, you can see the church starting off really at the height of its success with a great apostolic and prophetic movement through the church of Ephesus. It was a church that had some really great success in witnessing and bringing new converts into the church. That was the church of Ephesus. And you can see later on through the process in Ephesus, God condemned them by saying that they left their first love, meaning they started off when they first received the salvation and the good news of Jesus Christ. They were on fire to witness, like most Christians today. When you're first saved, you're on fire to witness. You probably take advantage of every thing, every program, or every activity that the church has to offer. But then in the process, sometimes there's a falling away or waning off. The excitement sort of decreases and goes away. But I'm challenging everyone out there in Radio Land, in a time such as this, with the great cataclysmic and the catastrophes that's going on in the world today and the world's crisis, don't lose your fire. Return to your first love. And that's the love that you have for your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because He loved you first. That second church on the ticket is the church of Smyrna. That was the church that was persecuted. And you can see the church going up under persecution now with the different things that people say about the religion of Christianity, all the other movements that are on the scene today. They usually bash our great church of Jesus Christ. So Smyrna represents the church that was persecuted, and we're being persecuted as Christians. But I'm challenging everyone out there in Radio Land to please keep the faith. Please hold on to your first love. Please hold on and walk in the power of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to move real quickly through these churches, and then I'm going to go into another point. That third church was the church of Pergamos. That church suffered Satan's seat, meaning the false doctrines that creeped into the church. And that church basically began to digress, as you see. And then the fourth church is the church of Thyatira. She suffered the Jezebel spirit. And you remember Jezebel in the days of Elijah usurping her power and authority over Elijah and leading Israel into Baal worship. And the fifth church on the ticket is the church of Sardis. That's the dead church. I mean, the church had become so dead that Christ had to come and give an autopsy of that dead church. The sixth church is the church of brotherly love. We like to call this the church that is being raptured, that is going to be raptured up before the great tribulation period starts. That seventh church was the church of Laodicea. That's the church that's ice cold. This is likened to the apostate church, the church that really falls up under the description of Mystery Babylon, which is a one-world church and a ecumenical system. And that really is going to be the subject matter that we deal with today. When you look at Mystery Babylon and you think of the whole name Babylon, it represents confusion, because that's where the first rebellion of God started. One of the first rebellions of God through the Nimrod. Nimrod, who was a mighty rebel before the Lord. Nimrod built the the astrological observation. He built this tower basically they were building a tower that reached up to the heavens, and God came down and confounded the language. So Mystery Babylon, when we think about it, is a system, a one-world church global system, where all the religions of the world are united together under the banner of the end-time world government. And you can see that coming in manifestation right now as we speak when we talk about the global church. It's been a lot of talk about the global church in the news today because of what's going on in America today. One of the things that Mystery Babylon suffered was the pagan rituals, all the pagan rituals that were introduced into worship, such as, we covered it last week, such as the Christmas holiday, such as the holiday of Easter, and all the worldliness that has creeped into the church. And God is upset with the church at this time because they have suffered the traditions of Mystery Babylon.
Wait.
And God said the church of Mystery Babylon has...
Dr. Brown, so you telling me that some of these holidays that the church celebrates has been kind of co-opted or slid in through false teachings and false doctrines and false understandings, but we perpetuate them by continuing to embrace them and celebrate the worldliness of it? Come on, help us out.
Yes, because when we think of Christmas is the biggest one. When we think of Christmas, we say we have to say that Jesus is the reason for the season. Is that right?
Yes.
But it's one of the biggest commercial holidays of the season, where merchants get rich and they shield their filthy practices, saying it's based on, we're doing this out of the tradition and the love of Jesus Christ. And when the church starts to indulge in these holiday seasons and these pagan rituals, they are mixing worldliness and false religion and paganism in with Christianity. When you have the church programs, that's a mixture of the Mystery Babylonian system. When you adhere to the holiday of Easter, that's adhering to the system of Mystery Babylon. It crept in subtly when 325 A.D., during the Council of Nicaea, when Emperor Constantine wanted to widen his reign or tighten his grip on the Roman Empire, he allowed Christianity to become the state religion. But Constantine, they were members of a secret satanic cult. They worshiped the sun. They were members of the Order of the Brotherhood, which is a secret society. So they mix pagan ideals, pagan worship, and pagan rituals. They mix them in with some of the elements of Jesus Christ and packaged this thing into Christianity and began to peddle it until the 16th century. The Lutheran Reformation movement came in and tried to get us back on track with the faith movement.
So you're telling me there's no egg, no bunny, no baskets of candy found in the Bible, my brother?
No, those particular things represents rebirth of the goddess. We can call it Ashereth. It represents a rebirth, a fertility ritual. Isis also did it during the Egyptian Trinity with Osiris, Isis, and Horus. It represents the birth, the new birth. In the Babylonian doctrine, it was the birth of Tammuz.
Wow.
The birth of Tammuz.
But the church celebrates that every year.
Those doctrines creeped in they creeped in subtly. And if you allow these type of things to exist, You're worshiping Mystery Babylon. You're drunk from the wine of the wrath of her fornication, because it's subtle. It sneaks in subtly.
But
That's why the Bible teaches us, even though we walk in the flesh, we don't war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty through God for the pulling down of strongholds and every imagination that exalts this thing against the knowledge of God. So if you're not aware that this particular false doctrine is coming at you and it seeps into your mind, you will begin to act on it. And it gets into your spirit, you begin to act on it. But if you're aware with teachings like this, if you have the revelation of Jesus Christ, if you study and get into the Word, you'll see that these things are wrong.
Yeah,
and you won't be led away by that false doctrine.
So I'm bringing you back on track, because this is so rich for people that, you know, so this is how the modern day Christian church has morphed itself, or allowed this stuff to come in, that we become part of the global church, or the New World Church, or the One Church, or the New World Order, is because we've allowed this stuff to become part of, not even tradition, become part of our polity and part of our services, and we've allowed it to come on in.
Yes, and we do. It's done through stealth. It's done real subtle. It's a subtle movement. It's not a mystery. Is secret. Something that's done in secret. It's esoteric.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Satan has his false prophets or his charlatans, who masquerades in garments of righteousness. It could be an apostle. It could be a prophet, someone that we look up to, and you can place that individual inside of the body, and that particular individual can twist the doctrine and lead you in that type of worship. I mean, you have false prophets. Many false prophets will come in the name of Jesus Christ. You have false prophets in the city right now that sit here with an agenda for Satan to corrupt the doctrine. Now the doctrine is full of cliches. I mean, they did it with the prosperity movement, and only a few people got rich through the prosperity movement. You do it through cliches. I mean, it's being done, and it's being done where it's subtle, where you can't see it. And then the more it's done, the more it becomes repetition, and you become desensitized by it, and you're clapping your hands, and you're jumping around, and you're going into a ritual. Mystery Babylon is also ritualistic, and it also means blood sacrifices. I'm going to cut it deep. Like this particular crisis today that we're facing today, probably 2 million people have died. But on May 1st represented one of the high satanic birthdays in the satanic order. It's called Beltane, or Saturnalia.
Wow.
Like December 25th is celebrated as Saturnalia. May 1st is called Beltane.
Oh, okay.
So sacrifices are done to the god Beltane, or to the god Saturn. I mean, Satan comes from the word Saturn, or set, or sunset. You're dealing with Saturn is considered as the dark planet. So behind Mystery Babylon is an astrological movement. The Constantine, who put it into play, they were members of the Brotherhood of the Snake. So when we yell S-O-N, son, they're yelling S-U-N, son. If you have a Jewish background, you understand that the original Sabbath was on a Saturday.
Yes.
And to the popes of Rome, 385 A.D., they switched it to Sunday. Sun, S-U-N, day. So they're giving, Lord have mercy, help me in here. They're giving credit. They're actually worshiping behind the scenes the sun god.
Wow.
Mystery Babylonian cult is a cult that embraces and worships the sun god. Nimrod is personified as the sun god. Osiris was personified as the sun god. And then it travels throughout history, the annals of history. It started with the Egyptians. The Egyptians passed it on to the Jews. The Jews passed it on to the Assyrians, the Babylonians. The Babylonians got it. Then the Greeks got it. Then after the Babylonians got it, the Persians got it. The Greeks got it. Then Roman got it. Rome has it. That's why the scriptures are dealing with the Vatican they call the Vatican Mystery Babylon. So let me put it all together.
Yeah, come on.
So the United States government, the military-industrial complex represents an army that fights the New World Order's battles, or the army that fights this totalitarian tiptoes battle. London represents the money. They're the number one financiers in the world. That's where you get the House of Rothschild and all those boys. They're the number one financiers in the world. But the spiritual wickedness in the high places represents the Vatican. It's trilateral. Vatican represents spiritual wickedness in high places because if you study the Vatican, every particular religion, you can find pictures with them going over to kiss the Pope's ring.
Wow.
London, the financiers, they control your birth certificate. Everybody, once you're born, your birth certificate is about $500 or $600. You're worth about $500 or $600. Sold on Wall Street. That goes back up to the boys in London because they still control America. They never lost it. When someone gets out of line, the military-industrial complex goes out to fight the battle. So why are you saying all this, Dr. Brown? Because 17 represents the ecumenical system that you see unfolding today. Revelations 18 represents the political system. So we have a religio system and a political system. Same way, I'm going to tie back into Constantine, 325 AD. Constantine represents the political system, the crowning of Christianity as the state religion represented the religious system. And so you put it all together. Behind it was the worship of a Luciferian cult, the Brotherhood of the Snake, and Satan. I'm going to take it a little bit more deeper and get a little bit more, try to bring a little bit more understanding.
Yeah.
So really, go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Brown, we got about 5 minutes or so, but are you manuscripting this? Or are you putting this in a book or some way that somebody else could get information like this? I mean, because, man, this is so rich, and we're not really doing it justice in 26-minute segments, but you got to be able to share this. Just tell us more just in the last 5 minutes of where we can reach you for more information like this.
You can reach me. I'm on social media. You can reach me. Here's my email, brownderek@icloud.com. If you shoot me an email, I can get you more material. Yeah, I'm working on a book. I'm working on a theology that liberates, a theology for the time that liberates. So it will include a lot of this information. But yes, but information.
I'm let you finish
let me
up,
make
but
one
I
more
want to make
point
sure
too.
that people could. Because you could speak on this, you could teach on this. I want to make sure that somebody can understand how they can reach you, and you can really help the people of God be able to understand this Mystery Babylon a little bit more. This is even a seminar series or something that you could break this down for somebody.
Hey, call me at 816-787-3617. Bishop Blackstock, you know this is the way we started.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, well, and they can reach me. If they reach me, I'll make sure that they get it out. You could always call the radio station, leave me a message, or you could call directly at the church at 816-795-1900. But I want you to talk about this Council of Nicaea, the Vatican mystery, because the Vatican has its own army. I mean, its own money, its own city. It's not just a church. It's called Vatican City for a reason.
Right. It's the Fourth Reich. It's the Fourth Reich. It's called the Fourth Reich.
Yep.
So with the rise of white supremacy in America, it's really based on the teachings of the Fourth Reich. And how do we get to the Fourth Reich? After World War II ended, some of the top-level Nazis, most of the top-level Nazis got away. They were smuggled over to America in an operation called Operation Paperclip. So the military-industrial complex is modeled after the German Wehrmacht or the German Wehrmacht. And a lot of their scientists came over here to help America with the space program, and that's when the Cold War against Russia took off. Until that ended, Russia basically was decimated overnight because their economy collapsed. I wanted to say this: tyranny don't last forever.
That's right.
People will always rebel against tyranny. And to tie it back into the text, that's why the Great Tribulation period only lasts 3.5 years. I mean, that's why the New World Order can't go into shape, because people can't come into full fruition right now, because people will rebel against tyranny. But if you do it by stealth and by the election process, little by little, whatever man you put in power works this particular agenda. So the number 45 represents the Fourth Reich. And the Fourth Reich was always a Vatican movement.
1 minute.
When it flips over to the other side of the coin, it becomes a Jewish communist socialist movement. So,
man,
the battle is now. It's for the minds of the people. The battle that's taking place in the text is God's heavenly temple, Holy Mount Zion. That's where the original battle started, on Holy Mount Zion. The rebellion began. And against Babylon the Great. Holy Mount Zion is God's eternal temple. That's the new Jerusalem that's going to come out of the sky like a bride adorned for the groom. Mystery Babylon is being destroyed by Holy Mount Zion, because that's where the rebellion began, on Holy Mount Zion, when Lucifer revolted in heaven.
Okay, well,
I know we got to go. Hey, it's been fun.
Yes, it has, and I got to get you back on sometime in the near future. But, of course, we end every program the same way. Jesus is Lord.
If this broadcast has been a blessing to you, feel free to partner with us by sowing a seed at gbfic.org or mailing a check to Morning Glory at 1126 Northeast Delta School Road in Lee Summit, Missouri, 64064. If you need special prayer of any kind, please feel free to call us at 816-795-1900.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Missouri Army National Guard. Aired by the Missouri Broadcasters Association and this station.
When times are tough, you turn to the people you trust. For more than 100 years, Central Bank has weathered many a storm, and through it all, shown what it means to be a true community bank. Our people are working right now to keep your money moving, to keep your businesses strong, to keep our communities strong. Central Bank has been named a Forbes magazine Top 100 Bank for 12 years in a row. When we say strong roots, we mean it. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Cleanse your mind before you go to work with the Scripture Shower. Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Exclusively on the Debbie D Morning Show. Gospel 1590, 106.1 FM. Carter Broadcast Group celebrating 70 years in Kansas City. This moment in Black History is brought to you by your local State Farm agent, Tony Guy. Here to help life go right. Take time to contact our office today for a free quote. For more information, go to TonyGuy.net.
Andrew Skip Carter was a radio engineer and co-founder of KPRS. Carter's goal was to own and operate a radio station, but his efforts were thwarted by racial attitudes of the 1940s. A letter that chronicled his difficulties appeared in a broadcast magazine and caught the eye of former Kansas Governor Alf Landon, who owned 4 radio stations. Landon hired Carter to run KCLO in Leavenworth and subsequently helped Carter get an FCC license. In 1950, Skip Carter and business partner Edward